Hello, everyone. This is Audrey Connor Gibson coming to you live again because the first time that I did this, guess what? My volume was turned all the way down. That's life. That's life. So I'm basically going to be repeating everything that I just said. Going to have my headset somewhat on, and I'm going to break all this stuff down to you. So, if you are a high school athlete or a parent of a high school athlete, this is basically the little intro that you need to listen to. And if it's not your description, please pass it on to somebody because I definitely want to reach as many parents, as many athletes as I can possible, because this is going to be something that's going to help you out with your near future. All right. So if you're watching a football game right now and you're like, yeah, I can't deal with this woman right now, that's fine because you're going to be able to listen to the replay. But one day it will be nice to have to see your son or your daughter that's on that TV screen. So this is probably the place where you can simply start. So I want to introduce myself. My name is Audrey Codner Gibson, and I'm a former college, high school, and also professional athlete. And as well as I coached in high school, college, and also in the pros in England and throughout of Ireland. Yes, I was there for a bit until they kicked me out. Long story. We'll talk about that later. All right. So, but what I really wanted to do is talk to you about an opportunity that I wanted to develop because some of my former athletes kept coming to me. They're like, okay, we have kids that are in high school and we want them to be college athletes, but how do we do it? And a lot of them, I'm just like, what do you mean, how do you do it? You did it. And they're like, but you got to understand, we were on the court. We didn't know what happened in the stands. So if you can kind of help us out, that'll be great. And it just seemed like one day it was like one phone call after the other, after the other. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put together just some kind of event because I know for sure they are not the only ones that are struggling with this. So I decided to put together what's called Becoming a College Athlete. Okay, we're doing a virtual event, which is November the 4th, and it's going to be at 8 o'clock. Okay, Eastern Standard Time. And yes, it is a Thursday night and it's only 2 hours. So if you're really interested after we go through all this, you're like, oh, I really want to do that. We do have replays available for those registered guests. But let me tell you a little bit about what is Becoming a College Athlete, the virtual event. So it's basically, I'm connecting professionals who this is exactly what they do all day, every day. And they are willing to give up information that normally it will charge like four figures for. And they said, you know what, Audrey, we definitely want to help you out. We definitely want to help these parents. And I'm trying to get parents who needs the assistance, regardless if they used to play or if they're brand spanking new to this whole world called athletics. I want to bring those people together and you guys can be able to get those questions answered. You'll be able to listen to other options that you never knew existed because now you have some of the information. So when it comes time for recruiting, you know the upper hand. You got the upper hand. You already know what it is. When it comes to, say, mental health, you can look for the signs that, all right, is this a time for me to just push my kid a little bit? Or is this a time for me to step back and say, how are you feeling? Or the whole process with the NIL, the name, image, and likeness. Like, how is my child going to handle all this plus school? And plus, right? Plus school, plus, being an athlete, dealing with traveling, trying to figure out a social life. And at the same time, how are they going to make that transition from high school to college? Like, what is it that I really should be looking at? So, all of that is basically wrapped into one in this 2 hour event. So, we're basically trying to help you guys with your questions. That's about it. So, of course, all of this does come to a cost, but it's going to be $50 for the ticket. But if you sign up prior to October the 30th, which is next Saturday, you can take 10% off. And I will also put in 1 month free. It's a drawing of 1 month free of high school tutoring. Imagine that, tutoring for a month, free, covered. your child be able to progress? Because a lot of you guys, the end of the quarter is quickly coming, and I know some of you guys need that extra to really get over the hump. Now, if you got an athlete, you guys really need to get past that C column. It's best for you to get B's and higher, because everything tends to open up so much more when your grades are underway. Okay, so let me introduce a couple of the people that's going to be presenting. You probably heard them before, maybe you haven't, but they are just on top of their game. Like, say, for fitness and nutrition, you have Coach Dom. He does phenomenal work for his business, Get Lifted Coaching. So he's basically tells you how to break down your eating, what type of eating, or what should you really eat to help fuel your body after a big workout. We also have Katie Anderson, all the way from the OC in California. She's basically going to help all those athletes, some of the elite, but also those kids that are not quite elite, but still have the ability to play at the next level. How to do the recruiting, how to do your scheduling. Okay, she does all that. And same thing with Miss Janae McCollum Boyd. She's from More Than Athletics. She does great job, phenomenal job with the recruiting, breaking down concepts all the way down in Texas. So if you know some people down there, football, basketball, softball, she's the person to go to. You know, she's definitely getting up there in advance. Then we're looking at the mental part of it. We have Mr. Donovan Martin. He is basically the mental sports performance guru for not only college athletes, but for professional athletes. And he has a list long of like how many pro athletes he has helped over the hump to advance, to expand, to excel. And he's actually coming to the summit. I'm really grateful. Then we also have Miss Jamesetta Cleveland. If you haven't read any of her podcasts from Sports Mom University, or have read any of her pods or any of her posts, been on Clubhouse, she's phenomenal. She's going to help us out with the NIL. And she's also going to help out with the branding. So how can a child balance this? How can you as a parent help the child with this whole sequence? And then if you're out from Atlanta, you know this name, Mark Hayes. Okay, Sir Mark Hayes will be coming in. And actually, he's giving us some time because he's going to be getting ready for his TED Talk. Right, his TED Talk, and he's basically going to help with the parents' perspective of like, what does recruiting look like, as well as share his personal experience when he was going through the recruiting process when he went to officially got to Howard University. And if you need some positivity to help with that transition, Chris Williams, okay, my buddy from high school, but he's expanding as a motivational speaker from Hear Chris Speak. So anything to give you that encouragement to make you want to go further, Chris Williams is definitely the one to talk to. So he's here. And then Miss Zedra Lynn Butler, who's from the Ball Code, another person that I wanted to get for recruiting. Yes, you probably heard like, okay, this is the third recruiting. But a lot of people, it's the same concepts, but to have multiple perspectives on it is also nice to have. Okay, so she's talking with all those people and down in Texas, and then also it has some expansion all throughout the United States. So the Ball Code is where she resides. Then we have Miss Ashlyn Parks. I actually coached this young lady when she was in high school. She was one of our strong point guards, very talented. But the one reason why I have her on here is for her to share her experience of how she went to college. She didn't go the traditional route. Yes, she played basketball, she played lacrosse, but lacrosse was her heart. But she didn't go directly to D1 right out of high school. She went to the community college route and then transferred over to that D1 down in Greensboro. And I wanted to make sure that she shared her story, because we all know that there's multiple ways of getting a scholarship. We're basically trying to find the right program, not only athletically, but also academically for your child, or for you if you're the athlete. You have to understand, you don't fit into their mold, okay? Don't have them fit into your mold. Okay, you are bringing in so much of that desire and that passion. So they have to realize who you are, what your integrity is, and it'd be great for you to find the program that matches that. And then lastly, but not least, is Miss Melanie Larkins. She is the wellness. She works not only for your heart, but your soul, but your spirit. And sometimes our spirit is really busy, especially this time of day. You know, all kinds of craziness. There's tons of things that needs to be done, but how to just breathe, how to be centered, not only on the court or the track or the field, but also in the classroom, also in your quiet space, in your dorm rooms, like how to basically learn a little bit more about yourself so you can get your wellness on. So, those are going to be just the presenters for this time, this becoming a college athlete. And the one thing that you definitely need to remember, you need to learn the rules before you can play the game. So why not come to the summit on November the 4th at 8 o'clock, and it will be on Crowdcast. And I'm going to have the link below so you can go ahead and register. And we're trying to get at least 100 people. So right now we're starting to fill up. And I just wanted to put this message out there so you can fill in that spot as well. So remember, if you sign up before October the 30th, you can take 10% off, as well as get into that drawing for that 1 month of free math tutoring. And it's going to be by me. All right. So thank you so much for taking this time to watch. And hopefully you guys are going to have a great day. And I will definitely see you in the summit. Bye now.